It's Leftovers, where I read the jokes we didn't use this week, and as always, it's my first time reading them. So if they suck, we'll remove tariffs on human kidneys and send Joe Mackey to Haiti. As you know, Joe Biden shared the news this week that he's been diagnosed with having stage 4 cancer. Not to be outdone, Tim Walz has announced he's been diagnosed with stage 4 menstrual cramps. Wisconsin Judge Hannah Dugan has been indicted for helping an illegal evade immigration agents. She pleaded not guilty to the charges, but also no contest to impersonating Chris Farley. Thank you. LeBron James is getting an honorary doctorate degree from Ohio State University. Just what America needs, another fake doctor. On a recent podcast, Michelle Obama said that, quote, people line up for her advice. Well, that's because they mistake her for Montel Williams. Kamala Harris recently told a crowd in Orange County that I'm not going anywhere. Well, that's because she was too drunk to drive. There's a debate on whether it's better to shower in the morning or shower at night. What's a shower? Asked one man. He showers and his feet never get wet. Kathy Hochul issued an apology for a boarding school's past treatment towards Native Americans. Apology accepted, said one woman. WNBA star Caitlin Clark had another confrontation with an opponent Thursday night. But honestly, if I wanted to see women fight, I'd throw my underwear at the groupies outside my balcony. As the trial for Sean Diddy Combs continues, actor Jamie Foxx claimed that whenever he was at one of Combs' parties, he was always out by 9. Out by 9 what? Inches? Kim Kardashian has finally earned her law degree after 6 years. Well, there's nothing she loves more than a hung jury. According to a new study, boredom is actually good for us. Well, you're welcome, said one man. In Europe, guests are paying big money to sleep at a zoo so they can wake up next to the elephants. Meanwhile, in New York, you can do it for free. When all else fails. A Border Patrol traffic stop in Texas led to the discovery of 13 illegal aliens concealed inside a truck carrying hay. Amazingly, none of them could make bail. In Ohio, a 24-year-old Venezuelan migrant pretended to be 16 so he could join a soccer team. Wow, so he's illegal and gay. According to the New York Times, Bill Belichick used to make his girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, wear red pants so he could spot her in the crowd. No wonder he kept trying to have sex with Travis Kelce. Registration is now open for a clothing-optional 5K race in South Carolina. It starts in Charleston and ends at Larry Kudlow's house. Johnny Depp's ex, Amber Heard, announced that she gave birth to twins. Yeah, that's something you never hear about. Amber Heard dropping a deuce. Thank you. And finally, I bet you're glad to hear those words. Hillary Clinton said we should import illegals to keep America's population up. Well, bring on the mamacitas, said one man. All right. Thank you. They weren't all winners, but hey. So So Republicans are unleashing an investigation into the Biden cover-up. Their first target, Biden's onslaught of auto pen executive orders. Joe's defense, don't blame me, I wasn't even there. But when you're too weak to operate a Sharpie, you're past due for the 25th Amendment, you're ready for the glue factory. So who actually signed all that stuff, including all those pardons? At least with Trump, we know he's the one signing everything that goes out in his name. It reminds everybody that the last guy wasn't even in the room, unless that room had an oxygen tent and a heart monitor. As James Comer puts it, the cover-up of Biden's obvious mental decline is a historic scandal. The American people deserve to know when this decline began, how far it progressed, and who was making critical decisions on his behalf. But it's not just Republicans saying this. As former Minnesota Congressman Dean Phillips writes, constant lying and gaslighting the public about Biden's health has cost the Democratic Party the public's trust. Rebuilding it first requires the courage and honesty to admit to what happened. Well, credit to Phillips for being one of the first Dems to say, hey, maybe running this drooling zombie isn't a great idea. But like when women are talking, no one wanted to hear it.
Okay.
Remember, Dean Phillips is the guy who tried to run against Joe but was shoved aside by his party for daring to speak up. But he's right. His party needs to come clean. But what they also need is a full rebrand. Maybe even change their name. It worked when Philip Morris became Altria, and their product killed more people than Fauci and the Clintons combined. ValueJet became Air Tran after their planes became as safe as a Cosmo from Bill Cosby. Then there's Randolph Weinstein, who later became Randy Weingarten. Point is, the Dems' public image could use a name with better future prospects, like Dems Are Us, or Demron, or Dembuster Video. Or they could just call themselves Fox and Friends. You know, to keep expectations low. Shut up! Then again, a name doesn't matter without credibility and trust. Then it's just like throwing a fresh coat of paint on Jimmy Kimmel. Even DC society elites are chiming in, with Sally Quinn calling Biden unpatriotic for clinging to power when he was constitutionally unfit. Of course, it's not speaking truth to power when the target is already out of power. Hell, since 2020, we've told you Biden's presidency would be a stain on history, as well as the Oval Office rugs. But when we said Biden was a mess, they called us cruel. So now that the truth can't be covered up anymore, they're pretending it's their idea, or claiming they were the ones who were duped. Nope, even as they told us Joe's sharpest attack, they knew he had one foot in the grave and the other on a banana peel. The Dems are and rightly so. And here's why. Can they actually say what they are when they couldn't correctly identify a woman, a gangbanger, or who's actually running the country? Their entire persona is a front, a cutout, a man in a dress claiming to be your date. But the Dems have one thing going for them. The corruption is so vast, where do you even start? We're talking years of bad decisions based on identity theft. And a media that will bury this because they're the accomplices. And so this investigation demands as much attention as a war crimes tribunal. We need a public trial. And not just for us, it's for them. Because if the Dems ever want to have a future, they're going to have to pay for their past. David, you're probably an expert on rebranding. You know, when you realized that your comedy career had stalled, you went and you opened up the Western Razor Company.
That's right, and now that that's stalled, I'm going back to comedy. I'm just gonna alternate back and forth, you know, until I can pay off my Nissan Altima.
What do you have advice for the Democratic Party? Or I get the feeling that they're just going to wait this out. They're going to assume that 3.5 years from now, people are not going to think about this. But remember, they were able to stretch one day, January 6th, into like a mini series that went on forever.
Right. I mean, look, if there's an investigation, let's just cut to the chase. I'll give you the results. Nothing will happen.
Yeah.
That's the way everything works. Nothing ever happens. If you recall, the first impeachment of Trump was because of trying to investigate the corruption with Hunter Biden in Ukraine, which now the media kind of admits, Jake Tapper admits, yeah, that was corruption.
Yeah.
So all along the line, it's just been hoax. And I think, you know, personally, what I keep wondering is, where's my Pulitzer?
Yeah.
You know, because I had this in 2020.
Yeah.
You guys have my tweets? Do you have the things I put?
Oh, yeah, we collected all your tweets, David.
They do. Look at that.
I didn't know that. They don't even do this for me.
No, well, you know, this is pre-election, right?
Yeah.
2020. I knew this guy, and I'm not alone. Everyone knew this.
Yeah. But that is now their new strategy. If you're listening to the hard left, Dagan, they're saying, we all knew he was demented. There's no story there. Yeah, there was the story. You were denying he was demented and demonizing people who said he was.
Everyone was denying that he was in cognitive decline, that he looked like... We all had relatives that we had to take care of, that we wouldn't let use our microwave oven without supervision. The relatives that we wouldn't let babysit our dog because they would sit on it and kill it.
Yeah.
But we're not even supposed to be talking about that, right? We're supposed to be talking about his prostate cancer.
Yes.
That the family, the minders, the handlers, the advisors, all the reprobates in the Biden orbit, we're only supposed to be talking about the prostate cancer. Okay, well, let me be a helper. I'm gonna offer my amateur-free prostate exams to every Biden under that dome weekly.
Yes.
Prostate exams.
I can loan you my white van. I have stirrups and everything.
Yeah. No, you don't need stirrups.
Oh, okay.
No, you can just bend over the hood. I mean that. Lubeless, old school, digital exams. Call me the Claw, because all it is doing to the Bidens what they did to the American people the last 4 years.
Yeah. The side of the band would say the Claw, and the motto would be 5 at a time. No waiting, 5 at a time. You keep the glove. No, you fight over the glove. Michelle, make me stop. So, can you think of any business or industry that regains trust after something like this? The media and the Democratic Party seem to be in the same boat.
Well, they are. So Dean Phillips, who you
Yes.
mentioned, I had him on my podcast for about an hour. We talked about all of this. And he said that when he announced that he was going to run in the primaries against Biden, he didn't get one invitation to MSNBC. No one would invite him on. He said he was absolutely shunned by his quote-unquote tribe. Those are his words, not mine. And he actually said, he said, I don't think the Democratic Party has the ethos to welcome in anyone who doesn't think like them, look like them, talk like them, pray like them, believe like them. So it's a long road ahead. Now, they would be wise to listen to someone like Dean Phillips, who's really a very sane guy. But he said, there's a reason no one wants to do what I did. It's because you get absolutely shunned, you're excoriated by the people around you, and you lose your social standing, you lose all of the things that you worked so hard to build as a politician. He's very down on his party, and he thinks it's going to take a lot to repair it. He likes Rahm Emanuel, by the way.
Who doesn't?
Well,
former ballerina. You know, it's true. By the way, if Dean Phillips, he should just run a college, and then he could be called Dean Phillips. I don't know, Joey. It was just a thought. If you were in charge of the Democratic Party, and the option wasn't you couldn't go away, then what would you do with it?
The option, like Dean Phillips, he's a pretty sane guy. No, he ain't that sane. He's a Democrat. I mean, so, my option would be to go away. The Republican Party is not MAGA and America First. That's the thing, is it's kind of a rug pull a little bit. Like, you ever played the game Risk? When you take a country, as long as you're defended, they can't take anything back. They've just lost ground. That's where the Democrats are. It's not enough to rebrand because Trump's come in, and Tulsi Gabbard's not a Republican. RFK Jr. isn't a Republican. Elon Musk and Joe Rogan aren't Republicans. Mm-hmm. They're just as liberal as they've ever been. They're just a very sane version of liberal, and Trump has thrown the tent over it. Now, I don't know if you can keep a coalition like that together for very long. Republicans may feel the back end of this if Democrats do get their stuff together. But to go back to Joe Biden, because this is just awesome. Remember when he got an agent, Philip Morris or whoever it was, he got an agent. So everybody's like, what's he going to do? And finally, I realized he's not going to do speeches. He's going to do endorsements. I mean, think about it. Like, how much would Depends pay Joe Biden, right? It's like, Depends, so reliable, even a president can his pants. Like just think about that. Or Life Alert, but the alert is when he's alive. It's like, oh, we've got life, everybody come to it. I mean, the list is on. I mean, think about the Metamucil contract he could get. Yes. I mean, the man is just sitting on mountains of cash and probably pooped pants, but he should be cashing in on it.
I want to see him in a commercial going up the stairs in that chair, just like.
Hey.
Sorry.
I may have one of those, okay?
Yes, that's. He said it, not me. All right, up next, wrangling in The View.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.